So today we are going to study our next experiment whose aim is to prepare the standard solution of KMNO4, then record the absorbances of all those standard solutions that you have prepared, and then by using those absorbance values and the concentrations of the solutions, you have to verify the Beer's law. We will discuss what is Beer's law later on, and then we can determine the unknown concentration. So this is the aim for today's experiment, to prepare standard solutions of KMNO4, record their absorbance and verify the Beer's law. Now we will move towards the next point, and it is the theory related to colorimetry. So for that one, I will share a screen with you. So see what is colorimetry.
It is a light sensitive device which is used for measuring used to determine the concentration of colored compounds in the solution. Introduction about colorimetry technique. So in analytical chemistry, colorimetry is a technique which is used to determine the concentration of colored compounds in the solution. It is a light sensitive device which is used for measuring the transmittance and absorbance of light passing through a liquid sample. So whenever radiation passes through any sample, the radiation may get absorbed, reflected or refracted by the sample. So this phenomena we can study with the help of colorimeter. We can determine the transmittance or absorbance of the light. This technique compares the amount of light getting through a solution with the amount of light that can get through a sample of pure solvent. The device measures the intensity or concentration of the colored solution. So if the solution is colorless, a specific reagent can be introduced into the solution to make it colored, and thus color can be measured. So not necessarily our solution should be colored. If it is not colored, we can convert it into a colored substance with help of derivatization or introducing some specific reagent to make the colorless solution colored. And if the sample is already colored, we can determine it directly with the help of colorimeter. So let us see the instrumentation. You can see the light source which passes from the slit. So when this light passes through the lens, it gets converted to the monochromatic light. So it is important that the radiation must be a monochromatic light. So conversion of polychromatic light to monochromatic light occurs. The light passes through a filter, then it passes through the sample solution. You can here see cuvette. This is the sample holder. It then passes through the photocell, and on the output we can see the values. So let us see what.
Now we know that colorimetry is based on three fundamental laws, and those laws are Lambert's law, Beer's law, and combined Lambert-Beer's law. So these three laws are the basis of colorimetric study. So we will see what is Beer's law and what is Lambert's law.
Where ES is the absorbency index, C is based on two fundamental laws of photometry. So what are these two laws? First is Beer's law. According to this law, the amount of light absorbed is proportional to the solute concentration present in the solution. So log to the base 10 I0 upon IT is equal to AS into C, where AS is the absorbency index, C is the concentration of solution. Another law is Lambert's law. According to this law, the amount of light absorbed is proportional to the length as well as thickness of the solution taken for analysis. So A is equal to log to the base 10 I0 upon IT is equal to AS into P. So here what is A? A is the test absorbance of the test. AS is the standard absorbance and B is the length to thickness ratio of the solution. So let us
Now, apart from these two laws, one more law is there, which is actually the combined form of Beer's law and Lambert's law that we have studied in our theory lectures. So according to, it is called as Lambert's-Beer's law, and according to this law, A means the absorbance is equal to the epsilon into B into C. So epsilon means the molar absorptivity, B means the path length or the thickness of the cuvette that you are going to use for the experiment, and C is the concentration of the sample solution present in that sample cuvette. Okay, so this is about the theory of the first part of the determination. Now we will move towards the next part. Now see, in this experiment, first of all, we have to determine the lambda max for the KMnO4 solution. So its theory, first of all, I am going to play here.
of lambda max of any colored substance, say for example KMnO4, is that colored substance absorbs maximum radiation at a particular wavelength in the visible region, and the range of visible region is from 400 to 800 nanometer. These colored substances, they absorb different amount of radiation depending on the wavelength used. So at different wavelength, they absorb different intensities of radiation. So this unique property of maximum absorption at a particular wavelength is known as lambda max and is useful for identification of that particular substance, because each and every substance will have different wavelength at which they show maximum absorbance. Lambda max is not usually affected by the concentration used because it is the property of the substance, and so concentration doesn't has much effects on the lambda max.
So this is the introduction about the lambda max. Now we will move towards the next part. So we will move towards the requirements for the Okay, so we will go towards the requirements. First of all, we will see which chemicals are required to conduct the experiment. So first chemical that we are going to require here is the KMnO4 solution. So the KMnO4 solution whose concentration is 0.01 molar is prepared as a, it is prepared and it is used as a stock solution for the preparation of another solutions. So stock solution of 0.01 molar KMnO4 is the first required chemical. And then along with that, we will require the concentrated H2SO4, another solution, and then distilled water we will require for the dilution. So these three chemicals we require for to conduct the experiment. Now we will move towards the next part, and that is the apparatus that are required to conduct the experiment. So first we require two burates. Okay, we have to mix two solutions with one another. So we require two burates here. Then a beaker is required for dilution. Then some test tubes are required. See here we are going to prepare a series of solutions, series of 6 or 7 solutions. So for that one we require that much, means 6 or 7 test tubes. And at last we require the instrument by which we can measure the absorbance of the solutions, and that instrument is colorimeter. Now the next point, procedure. Which procedure we can use here, or which procedure we are going to follow during the experiment. So see, the procedure is described here. First of all, you have to prepare the series of these solutions whose concentration ranges from 0.0005 to 0.005 molar. Okay, so see, first of all, take the test tubes and number them as 1, 2, 3 up to 10. So take 10 test tubes for keeping these solutions. Then in one burette, fill 0.01 molar KMnO4 solution, and in another burette, fill 1 molar H2SO4 solution. Then in the first test tube, you have to take 0.5 molar 5 ml of 0.01 molar KMnO4, and to this KMnO4 add 9.5 ml of H2SO4. So see, the total volume of two solutions should be 10 ml. So for every solution you are going to follow this condition. Total volume of the two solutions should be 10 ml. So first, in the first burette, take 0.5 ml KMnO4 and 9.5 ml H2SO4. Now in second burette, take in second test tube, take 1 ml of the KMnO4 and 9 ml of the H2SO4 should be added to that. So total volume will be 10 ml. So according to this, you are going to prepare all the solutions as per given in the table. So thus you must have the total 10 solutions for conducting the experiment in various test tubes. Now their concentrations ranges from 0.0005 to 0.005. Okay. Later on you have to calculate the concentrations of KMnO4 in each of these solutions and write into the observation table. So the formula is given for calculation of the concentrations. You have to use that formula and calculate the concentrations for completion of the experiment. Now after preparation, so this is the first part, preparation of the solutions of different concentrations of KMnO4. After this, now the next important part is determination of lambda max. So here in the second part, you have to determine the lambda max. Just now we have discussed what is lambda max. So it is the wavelength at which the solution absorbs the higher value, absorbs at the higher value. So the wavelength at which the absorbance is maximum is called as lambda max. So for determination of lambda max, here we are going to use the solution number 3, means the solution number 3 means this one, which contains 1.5 ml of the KMnO4 and 8.5 ml of the H2SO4. Now, so lambda max, for determination of lambda max, first of all we have to set the minimum filter. Now what is filter? Filter is the the wheel which contains the filters or glasses of different wavelengths. Okay, so first of all we will set the filter at minimum value. So here 440 is the minimum minimum value filter. So set this filter, and then using the using the 1 molar H2SO4 solution, you have to set the 100% transmittance in the colorimeter or 0 absorbance in the colorimeter. And then after that, substitute the cuvette containing the third solution into the sample box, and then record the absorbance of that third number solution at 440 nanometers. After that, you have to change the filter. Every time you are going to change the filter. So change the filter to next higher value. See, in the observation table it is given 470 is the next high, is the filter with next higher value. So set the filter at 470 and then repeat the procedure. Means what? First you have to adjust zero absorbance or 100% transmittance using 1 molar H2SO4 solution as a blank solution, and then take the cuvette containing third solution, keep it into the sample holder and measure the absorbance. So this process is repeated for each of the filters available in that instrument. So for each filter, you are going to measure the absorbance of the solution number 3. So now I will show how this procedure is conducted.